My name is Brian Diaz, also known as Killey.
All right, Killey. I'm glad I was able to get you off in here today. And basically, I wanted to go over like how did you fully start your 2K career? Like, how did you like what game did you start off with? And what was your like motivation to get into competitive scene? Because like I've spoken to quite a few different players, and all of them have their own different stories and how they got into 2K.
So I've been playing 2K since 2K9, and I started playing competitively in around 2K16. That's when I was playing like Park and Stage, but I just started taking it like more serious and like just became more competitive with that. And then I really got into like the Pro-Am scene with all the league players and all that stuff. I started getting into that around 2K19, and I went for the league season 2. Didn't make it, but I didn't really give it my all. I just said, oh, let me just give it a shot. Why not? It's not gonna hurt. So I gave it my all the next year, and then I made it, and now I'm here the following year.
So like, do you say like the journey for you was just like it was just steady? You was just able to grind out, like, or because I know like the draft process and the combine process was completely different. Like I know this year's draft process was completely unique compared to how the combine was normally set, where you guys got into random lobbies, things of that nature, with players that you didn't know, and then played multiple games at a time. So like, was the draft process easier for you this year than it was in previous? Like, because I know you had the experience in two different ways.
So this year I didn't really get drafted. I was picked up by the Pistons, and I was only there for the tip-off tournament. I was only there for 9 days. After that, a few weeks later, I then got a call, and I was picked up by the Heat, and I was there for the rest of the season. So it was definitely completely different from last year, where I actually got drafted in like the second round. It wasn't the same at all this year.
So different change up for sure. Connor, go ahead.
All right, what's up, Killey? My name's X-Rater CJ. I had a question for you regarding your season this last year. So you mentioned moving from the Pistons to Heat Check Gaming. So how did that transition go for you as a player, and how does learning a whole new play style affect how you not only play but were able to perform this last year?
Well, me personally, I'm always trying to do whatever the team wants. Like, obviously, there's going to be certain builds that are better than the other, but it's all about, what's better for the team. So regardless of what build, like, I want to use, I'm always going to do whatever my team wants. So, for example, there was a thing called the Playmaking Shot Creator that had a Hall of Fame floor general. So it gave, like, my teammates a whole bunch of attribute boosts for offense, and that's what I used in the tip-off tournament with the Pistons. But then when I went to the Heat, I went on the build, and it's funny because I went on the play shot, and they were like, "Why are you on the play shot?" Because everyone's using the inside-out playmaker, which is like a shot creator, sharp type build, and that's basically what everyone was using. And I was like, like I'll gladly use it. Like if that's what y'all want, like I don't, that's fine to me. So yeah, it's basically whatever the team wants. That's really what I'm about.
Awesome, thank you.
All right. So coming into the new team, obviously the travel was a huge difference. How did you take in the environment? I know, like, if I'm not mistaken, you're from New York, correct?
Yep.
So like, how did that like transition from, like obviously you started with the Pistons, and then you're like obviously traveling down to Miami, meeting the guys for the first time. Like, how was that experience like for you?
So I was fortunate enough to actually turn 21 while I was in Miami. But when I first got here, I was still 20. I ended up turning 21, God damn. It's so annoying.
All good, bro. Just keep it going.
Yeah. So when I joined Miami, I was actually 20 years old, and then like a month and a half later, that's when my birthday was. So I started getting the little opportunity to go outside and do a little bit more 21-year-old plus things. So I got to enjoy that, and that was a great experience. I had a good group of guys. They were pretty friendly. I was able to hang out with them, and I enjoyed my time there.
Yeah, like I can definitely see that being around. I would say like with your experience coming in and like guys, being one of the new guys, how did you feel that veteran leadership coming from Diaz and coming from Hotshot? Did they help you out a lot?
Deeds was actually very, very good when it came to that. He has a lot of experience. He's an old guy. I always teased him about his age. I like to do that with other people, but with age, comes being wise. And he definitely had some wisdom, and he had a lot of advice, and I definitely took that in. As far as Hotshot, he definitely was very good in terms of like telling me to like, oh, you got to slow down. If I make a mistake, oh, do this move, it'll be better, all that type of stuff. So he definitely helped me out in terms of that as well.
All right, so a lot of my questions you'll find are about your season and the off season. So my follow-up question: learn a new play style, or what are you planning on doing this off season to prepare yourself for the upcoming year with this organization?
So every single year, I have a little plan like of stuff to work in the off season. So for example, this year, I really want to focus on my patience when I'm working the pick and roll because I have a lot of reads and I just need to be more patient. I like to throw the slip early, or sometimes I'll guess the corner just way too fast. I need to take my time, really visualize and see the court and just make my read. Also, I want to work on my hash defense because I have no idea if the game's going to be like this again, where the shooting guards are kind of like required to guard the hash for the most part. And if that obviously happens, I definitely want to be able to step up and be like a top 5 defender if I, get the chance to play the hash again upcoming season. So those are 2 big things I really want to focus on in the off season.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, that's huge improvements there. Like that's something like the game is changing for sure. I'm seeing like I don't know if it's confirmed. I retweeted it, but I'm guessing you have to green light dunks now because there's timing for dunks now in the next game. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen there, but I do want to be able to see a lot of players develop for next season for sure. Like you see a lot of the younger players coming up with this new game, a new title, and we don't have barely any information. There's not too much to be able to prep for until we can actually see how the game is going to be ran. So I do have, you mentioned you turned 21 off in during the season, and during that 2021 you had a burst off in the turn, like that 34-point game. Like, how did you have like that momentum you drove through the tournament, even though you guys made it to the quarterfinals and wasn't able to go a little bit further? Like, you guys was on a roll. Like it was seen like from the game, the start of the tournament and towards the quarterfinals, you guys was just rolling. You and Sav was really being able to carry that load offensively. And like, how did that, like, you going into that tournament and on your birthday, like, kind of motivate everyone else around you? Like, how was you playing? What was your mindset?
So it's funny because during my birthday, that's when we played the first. It's funny because during my birthday, we played our first round versus Mavs, which actually ended up being Dime's last game. Funny how that ended up working out. But so we ended up playing them, and during the second game, we had a very big lead, so it wasn't the end of the world. But during the second game, there was like a crazy fire drill, and like it was literally smoke, and it was coming out of the same floor that we were on. And literally Famous had to like call Brad and ask if we could quit out the game. Of course he let us quit out the game, but it's just crazy. Like, we really had to quit out a tournament game, like, and we had to redo it. Thank God we had like a lead, and there wasn't really too much they could do from there because of the lead, but it was really like something crazy. And fortunately game 3, I ended up turning up. I didn't give them a chance to sneak a game 3 win or anything like that, and I'm very happy we went home with the win, and we made a pretty good run that tournament, made some extra money.
Yeah, like I enjoyed the run. Like, it was just like you guys was clicking. I know during that run, because like I had a few media availabilities with you guys throughout the season, and I got to speak to Sav one of those times, and Sav mentioned because there was another reporter there who was asking a lot of questions, and during that he mentioned that he wasn't able to play on his current build. He was getting banned out from what I was hearing. Like, he wasn't able to play during the course of that tournament. He wasn't able to play on the normal build he was used to. Like, did that affect you guys'? Like, did that affect like how you played, or was you comfortable even knowing that, like, you know what I mean? Like, was you able to still play your game knowing that he was not able to play on the build he's used to, or you guys were used to as a team?
Well, during the tournament, I feel like I definitely got my usage rate up. I feel like I got the ball way more that tournament, and Sav, unfortunately, didn't even get to use his build that he used throughout the whole entire regular season once. So I was able to use the build that I've been using, and I was extremely comfortable, and he trusted me with the ball, and he definitely fed me that tournament.
What are your upcoming goals that you want to accomplish for this upcoming season?
During the upcoming season, I definitely want to really focus on content creation. What I was thinking about doing is, like, basically you have like the YouTube shorts and you have like the Instagram reels and obviously TikTok. I feel like I could make a video and just post to like all 3 platforms, and that would be a very smart and like little way to really grow my platform. Obviously I'm going to be on Twitch. I'm always on Twitch usually for the most part, so that's not going to be a surprise. I just got to be more consistent. So I definitely got to stay my main focus as far as that, and I'm also going to be doing TikTok and Instagram for sure.
Sounds like content creation. I like it.
Yeah, definitely. Like, ain't nothing wrong with content creation at all. Like, I feel like a lot of the pros really like should influence themselves in getting into it. Like, like getting involved. Like, I feel like one of the biggest things the community really needs is the professional players like that are already made it to the league to really promote their own branding to showcase the league a little bit more to bring more people in. Like, I know like really huge influencers right now who do really well with their content. Bear and Chalk, like they really upped their game when it came to their content creation during the off season. So I'm looking forward to it, Killey. Like I'm gonna be checking you out during the off season and seeing what you put
Appreciate
together and what video. I got you, bro. Like I want to be like I support all, and I enjoy seeing people trying to really push their stuff, and that's what we kind of need for our community to grow. So as far as like most of our questions concern, like obviously this one I kind of mentioned earlier, but throughout the season that you've had, did any bans that was applied, postseason, regular season, or even in any of their tournaments, did you get banned out of any of your builds, or was you able to play through the whole season with relatively the same build?
There was only bans for one tournament.
And that was the turn?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I wasn't sure. Like I was told there was bans in other portions, but I'm glad to know. Like, so you was able to play comfortably. Okay, good. Was any of your other teammates outside of Sav banned out during the turn, or was just Sav?
Hashot was banned. He was
Hashot?
always the second ban.
That's I can see why. You guys did very well. That's tough. You're 1 and you're 5.
Yeah,
Getting
it
banned.
was inevitable.
Yeah, like that's kind of that's I can see that.
Hey, at the end of the
Connor,
day,
do you have any other
they
questions,
got
bro?
banned too. So
Well, yeah. At least you guys was able to like at least equalize it. Like like that's fair.
yeah, the thing is, for our team specifically, it's different compared to like other teams, of course, because our point guard and center like have a bigger role on our team compared to like other teams like point guard and center. But it's still not the end of the world, because as long as we're on an even playing field, I feel like we should always be able to win.
All right, Killey. So I used to play 2K. I think, please correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like 2K17 is the greatest 2K they've ever created. I stopped playing after that because 2K18 drove me nuts for when I started combining two builds together. I just couldn't stand it. I used to be a small forward that used to shoot threes, and people are like, why are you a 6'9" Luka Doncic? That makes no sense. So my question to you is, you started off with Detroit and then you moved to Heat Check. So what's the hardest part about learning one system and then having to put in work for a whole new system in the middle of a season?
I feel like the hardest part is just coming in and having your teammates really buy in and believe in you and trust in you and give you the ball when you need the ball. And when you call for the ball, you get the ball. And if you don't get the ball, then there's always going to be a valid reasoning. It's never going to be like, oh, I don't want to, or like any type of hidden animosity. So those are very, very big things, in my opinion. I feel like team communication and chemistry and just vibes, all that stuff, I feel like that's really like the biggest things, because everyone in the league, like, we're all good at the game. The biggest difference is going to be like our mental, our chemistry, the way we carry ourselves off the court. So that's how I feel about that.
I love that answer. I got one more, Bobby, that's off script, and I'll let Killey answer however he wants to. I know 2K22 is coming out. What are your expectations for this new game and this new year?
For 2K22, I'm definitely looking forward to me being able to dribble the ball. In next gen, I really feel like the dribbling was very limited, and I couldn't do like what I really like to do. I'm very dribble heavy. Like, I like to do combos. I like to look nice. Obviously in the league is different because you have stamina cap, but in retail, I'm trying to look really pretty while I'm getting buckets. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. Also, I definitely want there to be better defense. I feel like it's been really offensive these past couple of years, and with it being really offensive, that makes guards easier to position. So with that happening, I want it to be more of a skill gap. So I would love there to be more defense. I feel like I'll still be good regardless. I don't know if other people are going to be good, and that's just going to make me keeping my job easier. So
that's it for me, Bobby. Hey, he said defense. At least someone said defense. We're now scoring 145 a game, and I'm watching like 80-point quarters. Thank God.
That's key. Like, I don't have anything else. I appreciate you for being able to come out and being able to speak with me and Connor. I'm really excited to see what you're able to put together next season, man. Like, this season, you had me on the edge of my seat. I was watching all the games. I seen the development of the team, and the only thing you need, brother, is just more experience. Get in there a little bit more. Keep doing what you're doing because you're on the right track. And then with your content, I'm all for it. Keep me in tune. I'll keep you posted on. I want to be able to keep up to date on anything that you do because I highly promote most of the players to get involved and try to branch out and do their own media, their own content because it only helps develop the league. And like my biggest thing is that we have huge content creators criticizing the game before the game comes out, things of that nature, but the major thing that I would like, the thing that will help this community more is having some people who are actually playing the game on a higher level to have a positive mindset going into it. Because like you said before, like they had to be able to, for this game, the reason why we had a lot of complaints, but they had to drop 2 games out and it was during a pandemic and people have lives as well. You have to take it all the consideration on why the previous game was not, on standard to what we're used to. So hopefully this time they had enough time to develop the game, or at least the first patches. But Killey, I appreciate your time for coming on, man. It was fun. You gave me some really good, juicy answers, and I just want to be able to see what you're able to do next season.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. This interview. I like it. I love it. I love interviews. I love content. I'm definitely gonna be very active on Twitter, like posting all my socials, links, all that good stuff. I'm gonna be very Twitch heavy, like for sure. So
keep grinding, bro. We'll definitely keep it to it.
Sounds good, guys. Appreciate you having me. All right, have a good one.
You too. Take it easy, bro.
This is the final boarding call for passengers Erin and Fred Collins booked on flight 3728 to Kansas City.